are the three versions of you. Same person, different operating system running underneath each time. Right now as we speak, about 75% of workers worldwide report burnout. Gen Z, our generation, is officially the most burned out generation. But here's what's weird. Nobody's connecting it to this. It's not just about working too hard, it's also about running in the wrong mode without knowing it. I'm Suraj, and I connect neuroscience, psychology, and philosophy to find ideas that actually help you grow. And today I want to share something that reframed how I understand my own behavior, not just on my good days, but on my worst ones. 3,000 years ago, the Gita described three modes that run every human being. Not personality types, not moods, operating states. In your nervous system, your actual biology runs on the same three-state architecture. We'll get to that. The most powerful part? These modes aren't fixed. You can shift between them deliberately. And by the end of this video, you'll know which mode you're running on right now. And I'll give you a system with three specific levers to shift upward, starting today. The Gita calls them the Three Gunas, the three qualities of nature. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas that exist inside every person. All three, all the time. The question isn't which one you are, it's which one is running the show right now. And here's what I think is wild. If you look at modern life, honestly, roughly 70 to 80% of people are oscillating between Rajas and Tamas most of the time. Craving and crashing, hustle and collapse. Only about 10 to 20% of someone's week, if they're lucky, is spent in genuine sattva, genuine clarity. So let me map them. Sattva is clarity. When this mode is leading, you see things as they actually are, not how you wish they were, not how you're afraid they might be. The Gita says when Sattva is dominant, every door in your life evolves through knowledge. And I think the word evolves is important. It's not a sudden change. It's a quiet opening up of layers that uncover the truth. And if you've ever been so absorbed in something that hours disappeared, not because you were escaping, but because you were fully in it. That's Sattva. Psychology has a name for it. Flow state, complete immersion, clarity of purpose, challenge matched to skill, no self-consciousness. That's what Sattva feels like in action. But here's what throws people off. The pleasure that comes from Sattva, sattvic pleasure, feels like poison at the start. Sitting with a hard book instead of scrolling. The honest conversation you've been dodging. That's effort, that's friction. But that discomfort evolves into clarity. It becomes an elixir, and what you get back doesn't have a crash on the other side. Rajas is craving. Not laziness, the opposite. It's movement without knowing why you're moving. When Rajas is running, you're chasing. The fourth coffee at 2 p.m. is a great example. Because stopping feels like failing. The impulse purchase that felt urgent. The relationship you pursued, not because it was right, because you wanted it so badly you couldn't see straight. Increased Rajas is what leads to uncontrollable desires and expectations. Rajasic pleasure, the pleasure of this mode, feels amazing at the start. But it becomes poison, the crash, the regret. And honestly, Rajas is the default operating mode of modern culture. The algorithm is Rajas. Hustle culture is Rajas. If 75% of people are burned out, it's because most of them are running Rajas and calling it productivity. Tamas is inertia. And this is important. Rest isn't tamas. Rest is intentional. Tamas is stagnation. The fog that sits on your mind and makes everything feels like it's behind glass. Tamas originates from ignorance, meaning when you have lost connection to why you're doing something. Inertia fills the gap. The operating system produces shutdown as its output. Tamasic pleasure keeps you attached from beginning to the end. Staying in bed all day, numbing out, the comfort of not trying. It feels okay when you're in it, but there's nothing on the other side. No growth, just the same loop. Psychology mapped this too. In 1967, Martin Seligman ran experiments that uncovered something he called learned helplessness. It found that when living beings are repeatedly exposed to situations they can't control, situations where nothing they do changes the outcome, they stop trying. Even when the situation changes and escape becomes possible, they just sit there. They've learned that their actions don't matter, so they give up before they start. That's tamas, not laziness, learned helplessness. The belief that nothing you do will change anything, so why bother? And it doesn't just happen to people in extreme situations. It happens to anyone who has been stuck in the Rajas Tamas cycle long enough. You hustle, it doesn't work. You crash, and the crash confirms nothing I do matters, and tamas deepens. From a biological perspective, tamas is when inflammation in the body directly suppresses dopamine. Inflammation goes up, your motivation drops. Not your ability to move, your will to move. Keep watching till the end and you'd be blown how these states are linked to the foods we consume every day. That's tamas at a biological level. It's not a character flaw, it's a state, and states can be shifted. When I first learned about the gunas, I did what most people do. I thought, Sattva is the good one. I'll just be that. Yeah, nah, that's not how it works. Our physical nature comprises of all three. Everyone is attached to them. You don't pick one, you run all three every day. And these elements overtake each other. The dominant one suppresses the other two. It's a competition happening inside you at all times. Think about your last week honestly. Monday morning you meditated, ate clean, did focused work, Sattva. Monday night you were scrolling in bed, adding things to cart you don't really need, brain was buzzing, that's when Rajas took over. Next day, Tuesday morning, alarm goes off and you physically cannot move. No purpose, no motivation, tamas in play. Same person, 24 hours, 3 different operating systems. And I'll be honest about what mine look like. My Rajas is the version of me that confuses movement with meaning. Sometimes I just can't stop working. Not because the work matters, but because stopping feels like losing. Refreshing metrics, checking notifications. That's when I mistake output for progress. And usually my tamas kicks in when my Rajas burns out. The crash. Sitting there for hours not even enjoying it because it's not rest, it's avoidance. The cycle between those two, Rajas and tamas, that's where most people are stuck. Hustle, crash, grind until you burn out, numb until the guilt kicks in, and then grind again. Sattva is the exit. You're still moving, just from clarity, not craving. Sattva develops knowledge. Rajas develops greed. Tamas develops ignorance and idleness. The one you feed wins. Your body already knows this. Now, here's what convinced me this isn't just philosophy. Forget brain scans for a moment and network diagrams for a second. I want to talk about something you've actually felt. Your nervous system, the thing that runs your body below conscious thought, operates in 3 states. 3, and scientists have mapped this. The first state is called ventral vagal. You don't need to remember the name, what you need to know is what it feels like. It's the state where you feel safe, connected, present, your heart rate is steady, your breathing is easy, your thinking is clear. You can make eye contact, hold a conversation, do complete work without forcing it. That's Sattva in your body right now. The second state is sympathetic activation. Fight or flight. Your heart rate goes up. Adrenaline hits. You're scanning for threats, scanning for rewards. Everything feels urgent. You're ready to fight something, chase something, do something, anything, because staying still feels unbearable. That's Rajas in your nervous system, not a metaphor, a measurable biological state. The third state is dorsal vagal, what scientists call the shutdown response. This is the most ancient part of your nervous system. When your body senses a threat that it can't fight and can't flee from, it does the only thing it can. It shuts down. Heart rate drops, energy collapses. You feel foggy, disconnected, flat. You know you should move, but the distance between wanting and doing is just gone. That's tamas, your body's oldest survival program. And here's the part that gave me chills when I first connected it. These 3 nervous system states don't just coexist, they compete. When one activates, it suppresses the other. You can't be in a fight or flight and deep calm at the same time. You can't be in a shutdown and in flow at the same time. Your body has always known what Gita described thousands of years ago. 3 modes: one dominant at any given time. And the one you're in shapes everything. Your thinking, your behavior, your actions, your experience of being you. And it's not just the Gita and neuroscience. Buddhism's identify what they call the three poisons, three root causes of all human suffering: greed, aversion, and ignorance. Greed, the constant wanting, the grasping, the more, that's rajas. Ignorance and aversion, the fog, the delusion, the instability to see clearly, that's tamas. And the antidote to both, awareness, clarity, wisdom, that's sattva. Three traditions, three sciences, same map. The Gita, the Buddha, and your own nervous system all agree you're running one of the three modes at any given moment. There is one more layer. The gunas don't just run your behavior, they change your relationship with your own heart. The Gita says your heart can be your best friend or your worst enemy. And which one it is, that depends on which mode is running. Sattva, the heart's on your side. It gives you a direction, guides you towards what matters. Rajas, your heart becomes result-oriented, like a salesman. Tamas, it becomes a prison, whispering that nothing matters, that staying where you are is safer than moving. Same heart, completely different relationship with it, depending on which mode is driving. Alright, let's talk about the practical system. Step 1. Diagnose. 3 times a day, morning, midday, and evening, ask yourself, which mode is running me right now? Not, how do I feel? Because that's too vague. Ask yourself, which mode? Is it sattva? Are you present? Do you have a quiet mind? Are you engaged enough? Are your decisions coming along easy? And you're not chasing or avoiding things? Then you're in sattva. Or are you in rajas? Are you feeling restless? Are you jumping between things? Are you carrying a low-level anxiety under the activity? Are you doing a lot but nothing feels like enough? That's rajas. Or it could be tamas. Do you feel heavy, foggy, lazy? The signal between knowing and doing is broken. You're consuming a lot but you're not engaged. That means you're in tamas. First part is to name it. That's it. Right now, I'm in rajas. No judgment, just awareness. And naming it is the first act of sattva, because awareness is the signature of sattva. Step 2. Pull the levers you have. Now let's talk about the inputs that feed each one of these modes. And it comes down to 3 things. Someone who eats too much or too little, sleeps too much or not at all, can never find balance. But if your eating, sleeping, and working rhythms are stable and regular, you can handle whatever comes your way. Lever 1. Sleep. Last year, a study confirmed sleep deprivation doesn't just make you tired. It impairs your ability to think flexibly, regulate emotions, and filter noise. Young adults 18 to 30 are hit hardest. That's not tiredness. That's your brain being forced into the tamas mode. 7 to 8 hours. Consistent timing. If you're stuck in tamas and you can't figure out why, question your sleep before you question your character. Lever 2. Food. We can really go deep on this, and it's one of the most practical sections of the entire text. Sattvic food, the food that supports clarity, promotes longevity, purifies life, increases strength, and induces happiness. It can be described as something juicy, fresh, wholesome, good for the heart. Rajas food, on the other hand, the food that feeds craving, is extremely sour, salty, spicy, overstimulating. It upsets your organs and induces restlessness. Tamasic food, the food of inertia, is usually stale, overprocessed, tasteless, or leftover from days ago. Remember, you are what you consume. Your food impacts how you operate. Notice, when you're in rajas, you reach out for the energy drink, the hyper-salty snack. When you're in tamas, you reach out for the heavy, the convenient canned processed food. The food doesn't just follow the mode, it reinforces it. Eat towards sattva, not as a diet, as a system input. Lever 3. Work rhythm. The modern world that we live in gives you 2 options, grind or collapse, rajas or tamas. What you should aim for? Rhythm. Not intensity, rhythm. a pattern your body can predict, with a start time and a stop time, a week that breathes instead of suffocates. When your rhythm is stable, your nervous system calms down. It stops treating every input as a threat. Clarity has room to rise. You fix sleep, food gets easier. Fix the rhythm, and your nervous system actually lets you think. Pull these three towards balance, and you're not improving habits. You're shifting the operating system underneath everything. Epic karma is done by elements of nature, not by us, not by our soul. One of these three modes is doing all the work or the damage. If a human, by enhancing spiritual knowledge, goes beyond the influence of all three, they achieve true enlightenment. Beyond all three. Not permanently in Sattva, not at war with Rajas and Tamas forever, but aware of them. Able to see which one is driving and able to choose which one to feed. That's the real game. Not perfection, not eliminating the bad days, but knowing. When the fog rolls in, when the restlessness takes over, that's not you. It's a mode. Running on your nervous system, shaped by your sleep, your food, your rhythm. And it can be changed. You're not broken. You never were. You just didn't know you had a choice. Start today. Name the mode, pull a lever, see what shifts inside you. I'll catch you in the next episode. Until then, look after yourself.